first time going live in probably many years, maybe 2 years on this channel because Facebook was acting funny. They wanted you to have a certain amount of subscribers and views and hours, and I wasn't really a YouTuber like that. So I was gonna go live on my Instagram, but my Instagram was acting funny. So I said, let me try YouTube because I know YouTube likes to change things up every now and then. So, anyways, I wanted to come on and go live, and I'm probably gonna try to set up my tripod just since this is happening, and I didn't expect this, right? So, just give me a second. Do this really quickly because I have some exciting news and a story that I want to share with you today. Um, okay, wow. Okay. And again, this is not my best camera because, whew. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about a memory that just came to me, literally just came to me while I was finishing up my exercise because I just finished day 8 of my fertility fitness exercise challenge that I'm doing. And I just remembered when my mom, she used to take us to the Y and she used to work out. I'm unraveling my computer so I can plug it in. Not my computer, my this ring light, so maybe I can do something with the lighting because I did not expect this. Anyways, I remember my mom, she used to take us to the Y, and I would see her like, well, I don't remember if I actually saw her working out, but I know that's why we were there. Um, so yes, all right. So we got a little light, so that makes the cracking of my screen not as noticeable. So hopefully you can see me. So anyways, my mom, she used to take us to the Y and she used to work out there. And so I remember that. Like I just sat here on the bed and I was like, oh my gosh, I just remembered it, right? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I know that for so many women, like it's difficult for them to find the motivation and the strength to work out, right? And for me, it hasn't always really been that hard, even though for the last like 2 or 3 years, I shouldn't say that, maybe for like the last 2 years, I don't know, 2, 3, right? Because when I was in LA, I was working out, and when I was in Florida, I was working out in the public parks. They have like exercise equipment, and then I also had a park near my house where I definitely would work out there. But so I guess for like definitely the last 2.5, 3, but before that, I was working out. Anyways, so it hasn't always been hard for me, right? And so I was like, I've been trying to figure out like ways to help women to get, fit again, to exercise, especially because a lot of the women that I speak to when it comes to fertility, when I do my coaching calls, um, almost all of them appear to be visually overweight, right? So again, and I also do surveys where I ask women about their body mass index, and most women will say that their body mass index is like, they're higher, or they're more overweight. They will indicate that on the survey, right? And so I started my fertility fitness challenge in order to try to help women with that, to help you, to support the women that come to me with that. And I'm actually like, I'm in the creation process. This is not something that I've been like heavily promoting. It's not something that really was even supposed to be open to everybody. I really was just doing this as like a bonus for my feminine fertility lifestyle program, which is a 12-week program, and it's where I teach you how to improve your egg quality with diet, mindset, self-care, exercise, and also tracking your ovulation and your basal body thermometer, and using that information to time intercourse, again, to improve your egg quality so you can conceive a healthy baby. So, anyways, I was like, okay, let me include this fitness challenge in there because I know it's needed and it's something that I definitely wanted to do. And so I've been doing it. And today's day 8. I came, I just finished working out. So if I look, that's what it is. And I was like, dang, one of the reasons why a lot of women don't feel like they can exercise, or they don't have the motivation, or they don't have the drive, is probably because they don't have the memories, they don't have the story, they don't have the experience, they don't have the influence, right? So if you're watching and that's you, if you don't have, you know especially women in your life who were very athletic, and not my mom was not very athletic, but she worked out. She had an exercise bike in the house, and she would use it, and she would get in her sweatsuit. When I say it was a sweatsuit, honey, it was a sweatsuit. It was like metallic silver, and she put it on, and like you could just tell she was sweating. Um, my mother also had like these things that like you put it on your abs and like electronically like did something. I don't know. We tried it every now and then, right? So I had that. I also had my godmother. When I went to my godmother's house, she had an treadmill, big heavy duty treadmill, and we would run on that. Right. Not only that, with my godmother, she worked in like the hotel industry, so we would go on trips. We would go to like Florida. We would go to Jamaica. We would go on different trips. And when we would stay in these hotels, there were the exercise rooms, and we would go to the exercise rooms. On top of that, a lot of times, well, not a lot of time, but like she also had at one point lived in a condominium. And oh my gosh, the condominium. I always felt like when I was younger, I was going to live in a condominium, but I didn't. I ended up not liking the whole living in buildings scenario, right? So the reason why I love the condominiums is because they had workout rooms, right? And so we were free, and this is like back in like the 90s. We were free to do whatever we wanted. So we would go to the exercise room with no parental supervision, and we would work out. We would go swim. I don't know how I never died in the damn swimming pool, because one day my leg, I think they call it Charlie horse or whatever. But anyways, the point is, I had those experiences. Plus my aunt, she worked in parks and recreation, so she when I would go to work with her, um, you're in a whole gym, like you're in a gym every day, all day, right? And then living with my dad, when I did live with my dad, my aunt, she was already or always working out early in the morning. She had a little schedule by the calendar, and so I would be able to see her doing her little her fitness routine, or at least hear her some of the times doing her little exercise routine. And so I had these influences. My dad was athletic; he played basketball, and with him there was also like work related fitness things at school. You know, I participated in gym class. I was like always the first girl out of all the girls to run around the entire block. Like we had to run around the entire, I don't know if it's a city block, I don't know. But we like basically we had to run back to the street where I lived at, come back up to the school, and do that a couple times. And so coupled with walking to school and being very like, I never drove a car until about I would say maybe 10 or 11 or so years ago, because I never wanted to drive, because I saw people. I said, once you start driving, you get fat. I was like, I don't want to drive. I'm gonna stay walking, because everybody that I know that drives gets overweight. And I'm not saying this to fat shame anybody, but I just knew for myself that I didn't like the idea of it just being too convenient to like jump in your car and go to the corner store that's like just around the corner. And I didn't want a car to be something that sort of influenced me to become less active. So anyways, I say all this to say is that for you, one of the reasons why you may not feel or think that you can participate or be more physically active maybe could be because you simply didn't have that influence in your life growing up, right? And so with that, I want to say, you can create those influences in your life, or you can seek them out. You don't have to, hold on to that story of you can't work out because of XYZ, or exercise doesn't work for me because of this and that. I really truly feel that some of those sayings and things that we hear when people say, oh, exercise doesn't work and exercise isn't this and that, I have to look at these people and be like, have you tried it though? Have you even like really really given it your all? Not have you worked out for did maybe 2 sets and 2 reps for one day, it hurted the next day, and then you say you're never going to do it again because your abs hurt. That's not trying. That's not working out. That's dipping your toes in the water, right? So I've been doing this, like I just started again the 21-day fertility fitness challenge, and it's day 8. And when I when I started, I took my measurements. It was, sorry, I took my weight. I weighed myself. It's an old fashioned scale. Sorry, it's an old fashioned scale. It was trying to go from 225 to like 230. Okay, but when I weighed myself again on day 5, middle of the day, okay, so not, or sorry, middle of the evening, so not at night, not in the morning when your stomach is already empty. I weighed myself in the evening. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Right? That's another trick I noticed with some people who do like exercise like before and afters. They're showing you like their night weight probably, as their before, and then they're showing you their morning weight, days later as their after, which would make you think that they lost a whole bunch of weight when they didn't really. But in my case, I took my after weight, in the evening, okay, and I was down to 215. So that's about 10 pounds, okay, in in 5 days. Okay, now I'm gonna be moderate considering that my scale is an old fashioned scale. I'm gonna be moderate and say I lost just 5 pounds. But even just 5 pounds in one week is very, very significant. Okay, so 2 more weeks of that, we're talking about a definite 15 pounds. And so for me, it's not so much about losing the weight for you. If you are on your fertility journey, I think the benefit would be that you are reducing or shrinking your fat cells, so that way, you have less free estrogen floating around in your body, or just less estrogen receptors being receptive, or, you're less likely to have like estrogen dominance, right? Because the more fat cells you have, like I'm not 100% sure exactly how it works. I don't know if the fat cells develop more estrogen receptors, or if when you shrink your fat cells, that, maybe the estrogen receptors become deactivated. But as far as I know, there is some type of link or correlation between, um, how how much fat you have on your body, or like how like large your fat cells are, and how much estrogen your body is susceptible to, right? So one way to get around that is to exercise, workout, in order to shrink the fat cells, in order to reduce your exposure to estrogen, to reduce the free estrogen that you have, or your estrogen load, right? And so again, one way to do that is through working out. You could also, do things like reduce the estrogenic foods in your diet. But I think people go a little too crazy with estrogen, and they think that all estrogen is bad for you, when it's really the xenoestrogens that are really, really what I would be more concerned with. Xenoestrogens from like plastics and phthalates and BPAs and things like that, right? So, anyways, this is just one other alternative to reducing the excess estrogen in your body. Because the problem with the excess estrogen is that it's going to trigger things to grow. Okay, so we're talking about fibroids, we're talking about endometrial cells growing outside of your endometriosis, or outside of your uterus, which again, that can help. All of these things can hinder fertility: fibroids, endometriosis, polyps. Okay, and even with PCOS, you can still have high estrogen with PCOS. And one of the reasons why estrogen is such an issue when it comes to fertility is because of if you have an estrogen dominance, if you have high estrogen and low progesterone, okay, then again, there's nothing to control the growth of what this estrogen is causing to grow in the first place. So progesterone sort of controls the growth. Estrogen sort of helps things to grow. So that is why you'll see sometimes people, they have like low estrogen, but they still have fibroids, or they have low estrogen, but they may still have endometriosis. But one of the issues with that is that you also have low progesterone. And so low progesterone, that looks like a short luteal phase. Okay, and if you have a short luteal phase, then you have like a cycle that is like 21 days or less, and your luteal phase may be like 10 or 9 days or less, right? And so one thing that you can do to sort of curb all of that and get around all of that is to reduce your estrogen load, and you can also do things to bring up your progesterone production as well, so you can balance out your hormones, right? And so again, just coming back to my topic here, is that, if you don't have someone, or if you don't have like the influence or the experience in your life where you can, draw from stories and be like, this is why I am physically fit, or I know I can do it because I saw my mom do it, or I know I can do it because I saw my aunt do it, or my godmother, or another female, a woman, or even a male, a man in your life. Exercise and being fit, having fun with it, it not being something that is so hard and begrudging, and like, that you don't want to do. Like, I was giggling today, pretty much laughing at myself for for the challenge that I was doing. Like, I was challenging myself to like just do a little bit the last workout, and I was laughing at myself for not being able to get up off the yoga mat. I was like, "Hey, body, it's time to move." And my body was like, "Yeah, but you didn't give me that shake you were supposed to give me before you work out." So you can have fun with working out. It doesn't have to be something that is like so hard. And another thing I wanted to mention is that 30-minute exercise, which is what I do, what I've been doing every day, you don't have to be working out for the full 30 minutes. So that's a little pro tip right there. If you want to know what I mean by that, I definitely want you to join my 21-day fertility fitness exercise challenge. I will put the link in the description, or you can just go to natasiawinter.com/for 21-day fertility fitness challenge. I hope that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's natasiawinter.com/fertility fitness challenge. Okay, so the spelling of my name is, I'm gonna put it in the description because we're not gonna do that right now. But anyways, I will be your guide, okay, and I will be the person that will help you to influence you, and I will be there to help to support you if you don't have anybody else in your life to draw from and to draw support and encouragement from. Okay, so today's day 8, right? But that all that means is that you just missed a week. It's okay. The videos are still in the group, so you can join the group once you sign up. You get the link to the group, and if you want, you can catch up on the old exercises. They're just 30 minutes, so there are breaks. So if you want, you can catch up during the breaks. But I would say just start from where we're at. Just start from today. But that means there's still two more. There's still 2 more weeks. It's 14 more days where you still have the potential to again get in those extra bit of exercises, okay, and potentially lose 10 pounds by the end of this challenge. Okay, so I'm super excited about that, and I just wanted to come on here. Like, you can see, I had not planned this. I have not gone live. I did not know I could go live, but I'm live, honey. If you want to join my live fertility fitness challenge, okay, this is not something that's recorded. I literally just finished. You'll see me exercising in this same old shirt today, right? And so if you want to have fun doing a little exercise, I'm not, over here trying to lie to you and be like, oh, I did this exercise and that exercise, and not show you what the exercise is. I'm literally doing it with you, and also showing you how you can build confidence in doing it yourself. Because I've got it to the point now where I don't need to look at a script or a routine, or like I just go with the flow and just have fun with it. So if you want to get yourself to that point where one day like exercising is just something that comes naturally to you, no matter what weight you are, no matter what fertility issue you are challenged with or dealing with, and you just want to move on to a different stage in your life, and which involves fitness, okay, then I want you to join this program. You'll hear some more of my story, while you're in the program, because I have some stories as to why I decided that, yes, I definitely have to do this. But again, especially just to give you a little short recap, what happened is that with the again the state of the world, I'll say for the last 2 to 3 years, I developed a serious injury. Okay, and it stemmed from, again, inactivity, and also postpartum related issues after having my daughter, right, who just so happened to come in the camera right now, right? But I was pretty much needing crutches, not able to walk. It was something where like it can travel to your heart. It was potentially I don't want to say the word here on YouTube, but you know what I'm saying. It was not good, okay? And I've seen where it has not ended well for other women. So being that I had gone through that, I was like, okay, not only for myself, but also for other women, I want to include this fitness portion, because I don't want anybody else to go through that. And if I'm helping women to conceive, this is a serious issue, because it typically happens to women who have had a child. okay, where you something to do with like your left leg and blood clots and veins and arteries. Anyways, I don't know all the details, but two things I was dealing with: pelvic diastasis. I think where your pelvic bone doesn't fuse together after birth and it stays open. I was able to fuse that back together by doing the same exercises that I'm doing in this challenge. I was able to do that right before I had her, but then after I had her, I developed a leg problem, right? So I was dealing with that, the separation of my pelvic bone for like 3 years since I had my son. Okay, and it never went away until I started doing the exercises I'm doing. And once I started again exercising again, I think that's when I've been doing the yoga in the program that I'm doing, the feminine fertility routine. I've been doing my yoga routine, which has helped me with um, the leg issue. So putting that together with the exercise, I said, okay, I have to do a little exercise challenge, right? So I hope that makes some sense to you. Don't worry, I explain it a little bit more in the program. It's free to join for now. So if you want, again, just go to natashiwinter.com/fertility fitness. I don't want to keep this video too long. And I will see you in another video. I don't even know how to end this thing. Oh, guys, I do not know how to end this because I'm all right. So I will see you in another video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will definitely do my best to answer them because I'm super excited about this. Right? So I'll see you then. Bye. You saying bye? All right, click this button. Probably shouldn't teach you how to click this.